Hello all, right, start of another sesh. Been a funny week again, weather wise and whatever, but that's normal gardening, normal life I suppose. Right, my blue Nile delphiniums, this is just going over now, but it started off with a white innards. This is a seed I've had from them, and the last one is just showing up now. I've got the white innards, but it's not compact as the others. Perhaps I'm too fussy, I don't know. New lily come up, that's a good one. Spuds on site. These are in raised beds, so I've got a good brew underneath. All I do is take away the tops. Usually wait for the flowers to drop off, but I've got under early, or about 3 lots of spuds off. I just take the spuds away, what I want to eat, and then earth up the rest. Obviously there's only 2 of us at home, so I'll get enough for a meal for us. And with these, I didn't even wash them. That was that clean. Just slice them off, bung them in the pond, beautiful. Plum wine, never done this before. I thought I've disturbed him, so I'm going to leave him for a bit to clear and come back to him. Saturday shed, this was 2 weeks ago. I'm going to order some spent mushroom compost. So I'll put an empty 1 ton bag up, ready for when we get him. Because when they deliver it, they just get it as close to the shed as we can. So I'll put a sign out advertising. Right, when I started clearing my wine, I found out it was clear. It was just the jar. It had stained the jar and it started bubbling again, so I just put 1 Camden tablet in and put that away for a week. Geraniums on the step, had a look at these again. Noticed a leaf had been yomped, so I had a look underneath and you can see the little web where this little chap was hiding. So he went in the green bin as well. Finished my wallpapering luckily. Little shopping, chrysanthus minis, 99p each. Look at them. Glutton for punishment I am. I've got to stop soon, running out of room. But these are corkers, because I'm nice and little. I can put in if you've got a space. Nice roots under them and just bung them out. But like them. Cherries on plot, best I've ever had, meaning it's a good year for cherries. Large ones, sweet, beautiful, but everybody's the same boat. Some year it's naff, here's me and my cherry. Red currants, this is one up the garden, done well with them this year. If you remember, I also sent away for one down the plot, and that was the chap. And when he come out, it turned out to be a black currant. So I've rung him up, give him a polite telling off and send him another one. Cherry trees bottom of the orchard need tying up. These are tying in as they are growing along. Once they get to the end, then that's it. There's also one at the top, that branch at the top, I want to persuade him to come out. So I'll put a bit of carpet around him, this is just to persuade him. The best time to do it is midday. This is when the trees are nice and supple and they bend easily. Not too far in one go. Blackberries, still picking them, hordes on them, and we've also got the last of my strawberries up. Obviously there's earlies and late, was supposed to be anyway, there is. There's one out of perp up the other end. It started throwing flowers again, which is good for me. That'll give me later fruit. Blackcurrant, doing well, loads of air circulation around him, which is what I wanted. Give me better fruit. Blackberry on site, there's new shoots which are coming out. I want these for next year, but I've got to tie them up out of the way so I can walk in between all the fruit trees. So that's what I'm doing now. If there's any extra shoots which I don't need, then I'll take them off. Gladios, weekly sowings, watered in pots. First signs of flowers on the cormlets. When they do start to open up, I'll take them off. Then all the grub will go back into the corm, giving me a stronger plant next year. Alstroemeria, keeping them dead-headed. In fact, all flowers. A plant has to throw seed, so that species to survive. If you take the seeds away, it has to throw more flowers. That's nature, so keep dead-heading. Composting day, kitchen and garden waste. It's chopped and mixed with all the other ingredients, and they are put into this bin. I've now filled this bin. It gets a good watering with a liquid osmoc. Carpet goes on top of that. that carpet is watered, then the other carpet goes on, and that carpet is also watered. The lid goes on top of that with a date, then I know 3 weeks to a month after that, that compost will be ready. Just next week I'm starting from a new bin, so I'll go and find a bin, put some straw in the bottom. When I put my compost in, that straw is still intact while my compost is ready, meaning no worms go through the chicken wire and the mould dog it sort of looks after my compost. Worth doing. Carpet ready, ready for next week as well. So that now gets the in-use brick. As next Monday it will be in use. Grapevine, the new shoot is now starting to put a spurt on. The other grapevine, it's got growth about halfway through, and that's it. There's nothing beyond it. So I'm going to chop him off. I threatened him a couple of weeks ago. As you see hanging underneath, I've got a nice long shoot. So I've chopped him off where that new shoot is still hanging on. There he is hanging off. And now I'm going to tie him up, and he will be my new lead shoot. With a bit of luck, end of the year, he will be at the other end. So that's a photo from outside the tunnel, looking at both of them. Show onions in the tunnel doing well. Now starting measuring, and 20 inches, then these will be, that's all I'm after. Another pot leak up. I've got a virus in the leaves on these. The white and the root plate of the leaf was perfect, so we ate them. Also the onion, I got him up as well, telling me it could be in the soil. Still flogging armalitox on our trading shed, so at the end of the season a good drenching will take place. The onion top, we used to have this in the Starfish Pot League Society. Just place it on onion and chop them all off. Then all heavy onions are the same. Use that now for our garlic club. Shallots dried off, most of the green has gone. I top and tail them, then I'll rub off the outside skins. These come off easily, as you can see there, and put them back down to dry off. The 8.8 show onions also drying off in the background. These are saffron and lifted at 10¼ inches. On the left at the back of the Showmaster, they are finally putting a bit of weight on, except we've lost the warm weather again. Last but one pot of show glads being planted. This is a singular beauty, beautiful. A new wood chip contact keeps us supplied, good man. Also our rabbit muck supplier. Because he exhibits rabbits, he uses sterilised chop saw. Perfect. Compost is required for the back garden. I need to do a bit of work. So I'm getting a couple of bags of that out. Look at that, good brew. Still got a bit of meat in it, that's what I want. So was it 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's 4 good bags of compost. Plus I want my wood chip as well. And they will be used for all my borders up the top of the garden. What I've done is gone down and weeded. Emptied some of my own compost out and started top dressing. Because it's a good brew, it's also going to feed all the plants that are in there anyway. Most of the plants are now established, so I'll take it. Little chaps like him told me it's a good brew. That's that one bed done. Not a very good photo, but you can see better there. Once it's composted, then the wood chip will go on top of that. This will keep the warmth in, keep the cats off, and stop the weeds coming through. Osteoperonum settled in, they're dead ending these. Worm compost went down as well, and woodcats. Trellis at the top of the garden. Started doing under there. The back had been done moons ago. Gladios, wind had died down, so I put them away from the wall. Another good dollop of wood chip. That's 2 dollops in 3 days. Good man. Good for pathways, mulching, or compost ingredient. First time, picked him, me and the missus. Split him. Hordes of black currants, largest are on the bottom, don't forget, because they come out first. So I got enough up. These were destalked, then washed. 1.6 kilo or 3.5 pound in English money. These are supposed to be used as stringing bag, but I ain't got one, so I used the Lin's bra washing bag. Took the bra out first, obviously. Bung them in a brewing bucket, began to mash them up. Heat off the water in a large pan. Add the sugar, demerara sugar now with all my wines, gives it an extra kick. Bring it to the boil and stir all the time until it dissolves. Then you pour it over your blackcurrants, add the remaining water, leave to cool. Once cool, add 1 crushed almond tablet, and then you leave for 12 hours. Then we'll come back to him. Last of the gladiolus being planted out in a raised bed. Need to get 2 rows in here. Got the room now the leaks are out of the way, so I'm going to use the bed. First trench done, worm underneath, right next to my sepals. Then the next row goes in. Once them 2 are put in, it's all backfilled, levelled, watered, straw replaced. 12 hours have passed on my wine, so I add the pectic enzyme and then leave it for 24 hours. Delivery down the trading shed, 1 ton spent mushroom compost. Paul and Johnny gave me a hand. Cheers chaps. The forecast was dry, we all got wet. They couldn't forecast my house. Because the 1 ton bag was settled and compact, with us transferring it, it loosened up, meaning we got 2 1 ton bags out of it. And once I had a spare hour, I started bagging the spent mushroom compost ready for Saturday. 20 litres for £4. That's a good buy, that is. Buy bulk and flog it cheap. Plus I'm still making money yourself. 10 bags ready for Saturday. It was already ordered. Crocosme here, opened up now, love this plant. Gladys, now got 3 spikes in one of the pots. It's going to open very soon. These are from cormlets. Amaryllis and Denphilium seeds from a mate in Ostend. Cheers Jeff, good man. Spring cabbage needs potting on. Next size up, these tumblers I had last year, them ideal. Get them from the pound shop. Potting on, seed leaves they are taken off because I'm going to firm it in, meaning it's going to go a bit deeper. First time we've ever seen bats on a night. Never noticed them before, but they're a bit quick. Trip to heaven, need a couple of photos from my book. Because we've had the rain, good downpours, it will bring the worms to the surface. That's why you keep your bins and the heaps moist. I've got 2 full bags of worms and muck. Excellent, then we'll come in. Thumbergia, however you pronounce it, now starting to climb in between the poles. Bottom of the trellis, I noticed some self-settlers. Same leaf as a Thumberia, meaning I had black-eyed Susie in here a couple of years ago. So just in case it is the black-eyed Susie, exactly the same leaf, I'm going to pot a couple on, and they will put in with these if they just turn out to be them. Still me spraying in the greenhouse. Beetroot from plugs, putting a spurt on now. These will start coming up in a week or so. Put a bit more meat on, then I'll have a mini beef for pickling. On the plot, green woodpecker, but it's a bit blurred because I've zoomed in. Blueberries, anything in tubs and needs extra, even if it with the rains we have. Also feed, same as us. We get fed, so feed your crops as well. Raspberries, had my first pickings off. Peppers in wooden structure on the plot, all doing well, thanks to Dutch Pro. Bell peppers on the go. Eat them like apples, love them. Long chilies also doing well. If I wore green, you'll see them a bit better, but there's a couple of months of growth on them. Sprouts, these will be caged next year as normal. You've got to get right into the middle of the sprout, the growing point, because that's where the caterpillars be. At least I got some sprouts on, so it ain't all bad on the sprout end. Spring cabbage heads came off, a cross was put in the top with a sharp knife. Moisture gets into the plant, shoots again, and we will get another meal from it once he starts spurting, about 2 or 3 weeks time. If you need the room, obviously get him up. Try this also with cauliflowers. Pretty day work, the stems just rotted off, so then come up out the window. Put in the bin. Gladiolus on the plot, I take her and batter in with the winds, so I straighten them up, help them out. Raspberries, these are putting the spirit on now, they need tying up again. There we are, that's better. And on the bottom of the plot again, blackberries there now in the prime, getting hordes of them. Love me fruit. Good mixture of colour up the garden, something finishes, then something else takes over. Every other day now I'm deadheading, plus every week I'm feeding with Maxicrop or Tom feed. Wine, 24 hours are gone, so yeast nutrient and wine yeast is put on and they leave it to ferment for a week. Right, stem check on my toms in the greenhouse. You have to check these because once you put them in, obviously they get thicker as they grow up and whatever, and they do get a bit tight, as you can see by that one there. So all I do is put a new tie in with a bit of play and then cut the old one off. Just look after them and they'll look after you, meaning they get less stress. Shallots on the cover right in the middle, meaning if it does rain they still stay dry. Got good ventilation, meaning they'll dry off better. More saffron onions coming up when they reach 10 1/4. If they don't make the grain, they get eaten. This is my last pot of Gladicorms going out. Give them a good watering. These lot now will give us a extra colour on the patio every few weeks. As soon as I come into flower, I move the pot on the patio, so you've got an extra colour. Orchid, there's new shoots on him. That new shoot I got, so I've took the old ones off and I'm going to train him. View of the back garden, get in there. Half the border's now been top dressed with compost and the wood chip. Having 2 new fences makes a difference. Right, the border top dressing, that's the top done as well under the trellis. This side would be the hardest because I've got white and bluebells under there. I might take a few of them up, as they was my cover before to keep the cats off, but now I'm using wood chip and a good brew underneath. Might take a few bulbs up. Mesembranthums, love them once these open. I can't remember the packet once I bought it, once I sold them, but there's a yellow chap there, so a bit of luck it's mixed. Back of the trellis in between the greenhouse, this was most years ago, and there was netting underneath, that was to keep the cats off as well. So the netting got binned, and most of them would chip that, excellent. Another Saturday down the trading sheds, picked up my mate Jared en route. Luckily I've started delivering spent ops again, which they wanted out of the way. But, that's a good brew. While I was there down the trading sheds, another swarm of bees were noticed. That was as close as I was going to get. Luckily Craig was on site who has bees, so he placed his box down to catch the swarm. When he got his suit on, he brushed them into a bucket and transferred them into a box, hoping he'd have got the queen in there as well, and that they would all follow. While there on site, Nina Giddis had asked me to do some runner plants from my straws. She came give me some pots and mussets. All I'm doing is going to the pathways and lifting the established plants from the runners. Once lifted, I cut off the runner arms, leaving me the plant. Good healthy plants. 16 potted off for her, taken it down to a plot and then watered. The thing I'll do is the quickest you can water them after you've took them off the runners, the better they will take. Photo taken from our trading sheds looking down the site. Covers include glass, plastic, enviromesh, scaffolding netting, all for protection. Another delivery down our trading sheds, got Paul and Johnny to hold me out again. Cheers boys. Managed to get Vitat scoop for thick 8-foot canes, spring and summer, lawn feed, which was like rocking horse crap, you couldn't get it anywhere. Anyway, we've stocked up again now. And outside, I bung the pallet, free to a good home, someone will use it for the compost bin or whatever. 4 raised beds now full of Gladies, the first bed nearest to us showing flower heads. Once the flowers open, I will then put a 5-foot cane in to open them out. Wispy blue clouds mean good weather on the way. It's piddling down. Sunday morning for me, little shopping. I keep doing this, putting more plants out. I'm running out of room. Came away with these, couldn't help it. Pinks and Campanula. So come away with 2 of each. Bottom right hand corner I've got a straggly cop plant, so I'll pull him out. And that's where I bung the 2 pinks in. The small ones of these, the smell of these is superb, so I'll be able to smell it now because it's on the patio area. Onions on the plot, these will be lifted and dried off next week. Going to see Aaron later after getting his fruit up for him. Saw Craig on the plot, who is also getting into his raised beds. Being an engineer, he's making these. He has made a mould for his concrete slabs that interlock together. Once he puts a metal rod holds them in place, these will last his lifetime. Love it. He made Derek printed out a poster for me, better than handwritten, to put in our group, the Southwest Joint and Veg group. As there are no shows, we're having a virtual show, so your produce is not wasted show wise. Obviously pumpkins and mallows are going to be hardest away, but at least you got something. Doing a virtual show for Colligate Gardening Club as well. Mentioned this a couple of months ago. Other people also now doing it, which is good. If anyone has been affected by issues raised in today's vlog, you can visit my mother-in-law, who will tell you you need to get out more. That's it, guys and girls. Hope you've enjoyed this sesh. Hope you've enjoyed this, and mainly you've learned something. Until next time, ta-ra a bit. Cheers.